Before there was independent Kenya, there was a man with a dream of freedom, of identity, and of a nation unshackled from colonial rule. His name? Jomo Kenyatta. But how did this young boy from Gatunda become the first prime minister, then president of Kenya? This isn't just a history lesson. It's a story of resistance, leadership, exile, and a nation's fight for self-rule. Grab a seat, and let's travel back in time to see how Jomo Kenyatta rose to power. Born Kamau Wanjinji in 1897 in the Central Highlands of British East Africa, the future leader grew up herding goats and learning Kikuyu traditions. After converting to Christianity and attending mission school, he took on the name Johnstone Kamau, and later, Jomo Kenyatta, meaning burning spear. But young Kenyatta wasn't just any village boy. He was curious, driven, and deeply aware of the injustices his people faced under British rule. In 1929, Kenyatta sailed to London as a political voice for the Kikuyu Central Association, seeking justice for Africans whose lands had been taken. He would spend 17 years in Europe, studying in London, learning politics, anthropology, and rubbing shoulders with global Pan-Africanists like Kwame Nkrumah and George Padmore. During this time, he wrote the book Facing Mount Kenya, a bold defense of Kikuyu culture and a powerful critique of colonialism. But while Kenyatta grew as a thinker, back home, resistance was heating up. By the 1950s, Kenya was on the brink of rebellion. The Mau Mau uprising had begun, a militant push by mostly Kikuyu fighters to reclaim land and rights. Though Kenyatta denied any direct involvement, the British colonial government arrested him in 1952, calling him the leader of darkness and death. He was sentenced to 7 years in prison, followed by house arrest. But instead of crushing him, this time in captivity turned him into a symbol of resistance. Across Kenya, his name echoed in protests and whispered hopes. Kenyatta must be freed. In 1961, after nearly a decade in detention, Jomo Kenyatta was finally released. The timing was perfect. Kenya was inching toward independence. He quickly became the leader of KANU, the Kenya African National Union, and began rallying the people for a peaceful transition of power. In 1963, Kenya achieved self-rule, and Kenyatta became prime minister. 1 year later, the Republic of Kenya was born, and Jomo Kenyatta became its first president. Kenyatta's leadership laid the foundation for modern Kenya. He preached unity with his slogan Harambee, meaning let's pull together. But his presidency was also marked by centralized power and political suppression. To some, he was the father of the nation. To others, a flawed leader who built power around himself. Still, there's no denying this. Jomo Kenyatta transformed from a colonial subject into a national symbol, a man who helped carve Kenya's path to independence. The story of Jomo Kenyatta is the story of a nation rising. From a village boy to a